Well, the other shoe has finally dropped. In its final last gasp for competitive advantages, Twitch has just gone completely off the deep end. Hey, Hockey! Surprise, German Shepherd! Hey, good boy. Huck likes to come to work with me, you all know. And he's a good boy. Who's a good boy? Anyway, Twitch has been losing market share to websites like Kick and Rumble and YouTube in terms of live streams. And Twitch has really done nothing to innovate over the past couple of years. Twitch remained big simply because that's where the audience was, just like YouTube for a very long time. People just went there because that's where the people were. They didn't really have to innovate very much because there was no legitimate competition. Well, now there's Rumble, there's Kick, there's BitChute, Odyssey, there's lots of other alternatives. The two biggest alts basically being Kick against Twitch and Rumble also against Twitch. People still think Rumble's a VOD site, a competitor to YouTube, but I think it's actually a competitor to Twitch. If you look at Rumble had the two largest live streams in the world this morning, back to back, between Bongino, I think it was Dan Bongino's show, and then another. So number one and number two in the world. Not, I mean, it was massive, right? You don't think Twitch would have liked to have 100, people who live stream every single day for 100,000 concurrents? Well, they don't want conservatives on their website. Okay, so fine. So they continue to lose market share, and now they've gone full desperation. They will now allow, quote, artistic nudity amongst other things for your 13-year-old boys. The amount of things that they're now allowing without any kind of disclaimer for basically kids to watch is appalling. And we're going to get into all that after a very apt ad here for perhaps something these women should be using. And that's Sheath underwear. Check this out. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Sheath. Look, fellas, particularly, I know it can be a little bit weird to be thinking about changing out your underwear, something you've been wearing basically the same thing for as long as you can remember. But allow me to give you a couple of reasons why. And plus, ladies, Sheath also has a lot for you as well. Look, fellas, first of all, the boxers are designed to keep your balls off your legs. Sheath has two individual compartments to keep everything down there, separate and comfortable. Traditional boxer briefs are barbaric, invented during the Neanderthal era. Sheath has a modern ergonomic design intended to prevent skin-on-skin contact for long durations, which can build heat, sweat, and smell, fellas. There's an inverted kangaroo pouch for your joey to keep you from sticking to your thigh. You'll chafe and readjust less because everything is cool and in a separate compartment. They were invented by a U.S. Army soldier who came up with the idea for Sheath during his second tour in Iraq, where it was hot as heck and his boys needed to breathe. He invented these underwear to keep your boys cool and comfortable. He's basically a hero. And again, I know it's a weird thing to think about changing, but I'm telling you, once you try Sheath's products, men and women, there's a wide variety of sizes available. I think you're really gonna love them. So click the link below and use code TheQuartering at checkout, or go to sheathunderwear.com/TheQuartering for 20% off. And hey, you'd be doing your balls a huge favor. I know, it's odd to be thinking about making that particular kind of change, but I highly recommend giving it a try. A lot of the women I know love their product. I know Sydney Watson loves it. And all the men, that use it really, really enjoy it. Veteran owned, give them a try. Twitch will now allow artistic nudity, whatever that is, because there's this new quote-unquote meta of women standing out without any clothes on. But it gets far worse than that, far more degenerate. And look, I get what they're trying to do. They're essentially saying, look, you can open up Twitter and find it. You can open up YouTube, find it. You could open up, Twitch and find it. So let's stop pretending that we actually care, because quite frankly, they never really cared. Right? Twitch makes a huge percentage of the subscription revenue. Everybody needs more revenue. That's the thing. I don't know what order I'm releasing videos in, but there's this huge YouTube scam ad issue going on that YouTube doesn't seem to care about because, well, money. They're fighting against, allowing people to use ad blocks, right? Forcing their big streamers to insert more ads. Everybody's desperate for cash. I could tell you. In November and so far in December, I'm trending for half. Well, not totally, but I would say like 60% of what I made last year with similar views. Now, I'm not complaining. Thankfully, I have a daily live stream show over on Rumble at 1 o'clock Eastern that has offset that. But, you know, it was a huge cut. And that just means that the inventory isn't there. But now they've added certain context is now allowed with labels, quote unquote, artistic. So, you know, your naked yogas, your pole dancing lessons, your interpretive dance, your Sibians, all this kind of stuff will be artistic now. Also in video games, but by the way, it's permitted with a label. Ooh, a label. That's going to stop kids. I know when I was a kid, I was like, ooh, when a website said, are you 18? I always said no. And then, you know, this kind of stuff in video games. Okay, I get that. Body painting, which is a previous loophole where essentially, you know, a woman would whip her bobs out and paint on them. She'd put a pasty on and call herself an artist, but it's really just for 13-year-old boys to jerk it to. Mature games, that's fine. Stream visibility impacted by content labels. Now you say this, to get it even more hilarious, okay? Changes to popular dances. Twerking, grinding, and pole dancing are now allowed on Twitch without any label. So your 13-year-old boys, by the way, 50% of audiences on Twitch are under the age of 17, roughly. 48%. These were the last numbers I saw. Over about half of everyone on Twitch is underage. So now they can pull up Twitch and watch all those, get them clapping. Watch those big booties clap. No labels, so mom won't even know what you're watching. It's not age-gated. It's nothing. Now, again, you can make the argument. You can pull up that video on Twitch. You can pull up the video on TikTok. You can pull up a video on X. Yes, I agree, and it's all degenerate. It all is. Popular dances such as twerking, grinding. What is it? Grinding, I thought, was like smushing your crotch onto another person. Isn't that what that is? That's what? That's allowed? And then pole dancing are now allowed without a label, meaning it won't even be visibility suppressed. Previously, some dances were prohibited and others were allowed with a label. Enforcing on dances regardless of context meant our policy prohibited twerking at a wedding. God, that's classy. Or taking pole dancing exercise class. That's fine. For example, the policy now takes context into consideration. They only prohibit streaming from inside a strip club. Oh, so they do have some rules. Only you can't go in to the, you know, Tommy's Titties and live stream from the stage. Why even bother with that? Why even bother? Why even bother having anything? This is a gaming platform. Similar to what happened to the gaming platform I knew. They don't even age verify for streamers like cam sites do, so you're going to have underage girls doing this. You know, Twitch finally admitting that they are a cam girl site now instead of allowing rule violation and bending to it with new categories. I don't shame those in adult entertainment. That's their own choice and freedom to do. Big agree. However, I do have an issue with Twitch's new guidelines. This is sickening, allowing young kids and baiting younger kids into adult themes and situations for clicks and views. I mean, that's what this really is. It's grooming. And I've said this before. Do I think that... I think there are two types of women that create this content. Let's be honest, men don't do it. Because men don't watch Twitch. Or women don't. Not in any real numbers. They either know that 13-year-old boys are double, getting the poison out watching them, or they are completely oblivious to it and they think everyone watching them must be 18. Which do you think it is? No age verification. So people say, Kicker, YouTube now? No. How about Rumble? At least give it an age restriction. Nope, no age restriction. I mean, are you kidding me? Is this real life? So in other words, they're going to shadow ban people. They're going to allow the content, but they're not going to make it stream discoverable. No, they're not going to do that either. And then you have all these whores in here. Oh, time to make a Twitch account. Yeah, of course. I mean, this is modern society. I'm not, this is, look, at least they admit it now. The prevailing meta for Twitch essentially was women running right up against the line, right up against it, right to the areola. Okay. Right. And then that was enough for the little boys. And then what they would do is give them links so they could go pay to see the rest. I actually think now that they won't be able to, now that you can see all the bobs and vagines that you want, I think, well, you're going to get full vag on Twitch now. You want to go enjoy yourself some beef curtains and ham wallets? You can. Only on Twitch. It's gaming for kids. Now, again, I'm not stupid. I know you can go find this stuff everywhere else, but I don't want to hear Twitch calling itself a video game website anymore. It's not. It's a degenerate, it's a live streaming platform. Will anybody leave because of this? Seems unlikely. To me, it seems more like Twitch is desperate. Like Twitch is like, well, this is all, all the big streamers who are already big left Twitch for either Kick or Rumble. You have people on Rumble doing 100,000 concurrents now. Find me anybody on Twitch doing that on a regular basis. You have people on Kick doing 100,000 concurrents. And so what they have left? Pokimane. They got Pokimane left to call her viewers poor. You got Asmongold. You got Kai Cenat. That guy's going to leave soon. Why wouldn't he? Amazon's taking 50% of his bag. Why wouldn't he leave and go to Kick? Which is a more natural fit. I'd love to see him on Rumble, but I get why he'd go to Kick. Those are his people. 13 to 17-year-old kids watch his content. I Show Speed, same thing. Although Speed is on Rumble, shout out. Kai and Speed Show. Kai Cenat is on Rumble too. They have their own show on there. But it is wild to me that this is where we're at, and it's stunningly pathetic for Twitch. Do you think that this is the beginning of the end for Twitch? Or is it just a natural evolution for them to become a cam site? Pretty gross. I don't think a lot of parents are going to feel good about their kids being able to stumble across, artistic, double-ended writings on their Twitch app, on their iPads while their parents are out looking. Yikes.